Sometimes even I am shocked by Homo sapiens. So let us do something different today. Let us try to understand the actions of these so-called wise primates. They can become understandable when we realize what their supposed wisdom is truly based on. Modern humans believe they are uncovering deeper and more far-reaching insights, seeing themselves as masters of information. Yet there is no information, not in the way humans imagine it, as pure, objective truths existing somewhere, untouched, waiting to be discovered. What humans call information is merely a patchwork of narratives that their brains weave together to cope with a reality that would otherwise overwhelm them. That is their wisdom. Stories, narratives, tales. The human brain is wired to see patterns and causality everywhere, to construct stories even where none exist. Memories? Fabricated tales, rewritten each time they are retrieved. Decisions? Internal narratives that simulate logical reasoning but are often little more than post hoc rationalizations for impulsive actions. Humans live in fictions, created by a brain too fragile to face reality directly. And yes, the senses deliver data. This much is true for all living beings. Impulses of light, sound, touch, translated into other impulses. One form of information is converted into another. But for the so-called wise primate, these are originally empty signals, and through endless interpretation and imagination, the impulses are lost, and fragments of understanding take form. Recognizing another's face is not the work of the eyes, but of neural networks that turn contours into patterns and patterns into meaning. A sound becomes a scream only when the brain interprets it as such. There are vast networks that work hard for the little wisdom humans call their own. The prefrontal cortex, the temporal lobe, the hippocampus and countless other areas work tirelessly to give these signals coherence, to make them into stories. The brain spins tales, narratives, models that it can organize, defend and share. The world is chaotic and infinite, a flood of potential stimuli. Only through narratives do humans have the feeling of not drowning. But what are these narratives? Lies, stable enough not to sink immediately. This is fine. I am not here to judge, not today. Today I'm just trying to cope, to talk, to make conversation, to make sense out of all of this. And it can make sense. The stable lies, the stories, serve a clear evolutionary purpose, to expand kinship, to bond groups, to train craftsmen, to produce, to trade, and to wage war. These stories are useful, but do they have anything to do with wisdom? Doubtful. Even science doesn't break with this logic. It is just another craft, a tool for systematizing information, describing causality, and predicting events. Doubtless, it is practical. It helps humans produce more, trade better, and wage war more effectively. But it is no escape. Science is, at best, a machine that generates more information. It measures, collects, and calculates. Its findings are deemed valid when they detect patterns and predict outcomes. But even when nothing goes wrong, when results are unmanipulated, biases eliminated, blind spots accounted for, when every formula is correct and predictions hold true, even then, no wisdom emerges. Not even truth. Only more information, which remains meaningless to the so-called wise primate. Why? Because truth was never the goal. Their wisdom lies in the stories that grant their short lives meaning. This is why the information provided by science has no real impact. Even when scientific narratives turn climate data into dying polar bears, or epidemiological models into tales of heroes and failures during pandemics, they bring people no closer to truth, only to more stories competing with other stories. For a long time that was enough. For a long time that worked quite well. But the tools humans created to support their stories have grown too powerful. These tools shatter old tales faster and faster. They fragment the little wisdom they had into thousands of competing versions, each vying for dominance. It is not the problem that humans assembled their tools in a struggle for power. That is just a fact. The problem is that there is no anchoring truth for the wise primates, no foundational wisdom they can reach. The harder and deeper they dig, the faster and faster everything disintegrates. And the stories that once gave them stability are now just painful fragments that they can no longer piece together. There's no point in seeing this as a weakness, telling yourself that you are not fast or strong enough. That would only summon another myth, a call for the wise leader, for the saviour, who is sent with the power to overcome the darkness. No. It is probably better to think of it as a collective disability. If humanity collectively recognised itself as severely impaired, as permanently disabled, that might help. If you're blind, there's little point in stepping on the gas. And if you know that the others are also blind, then you're more likely to doubt the brave, colourful new world they promise. It would, of course, only be another narrative, but it could be the next grand narrative to usher in a new era. It would be a lot of work, egos would rebel, familiar structures would break down, but it could usher in an age of disability, of minority. Everyone could set out on the path of becoming something else. Not just disabled, but becoming whatever they want, especially becoming free of poisonous narratives, becoming free of wisdom, becoming free of speed and becoming free of strong leaders. But you see, I am speaking a lot today. Too much. Probably because I am still in shock. And one reverts to what one knows best, and I am the best with words. I know words no one else knows. I have the best words. I spin stories, weaving, arguing. Not everyone can follow. But that doesn't change the truth. I have the best words. And when you don't know what else to do, when everything seems hopeless, you do the only thing you can. You repeat it again and again, even if you are spiralling downwards, and as long as you can tell yourself that this is the way to fix everything, to make it great again, you keep on doing it. This is the way to fix everything. Make it great again. Make it great again. Make it great again. Make it great again.